Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and most welcome guest. There's water in front of you. Not too long ago, a few weeks ago, what happened was I ran out of time and I didn't know where the time went. I didn't have time to make my lunch, and making my lunch is important to me because it's part of making my, taking care of my body, and I like to make healthy lunches. And it wasn't that there was anything special going on in my life that I said, oh, there's a big project, what am I going to do? Like, there was nothing that I can pinpoint. And then I thought about it. Not too long ago, a few years ago, what happened was I was working full-time, I still am, but I was taking advanced finance and accounting courses. I was preparing for national exams. I was doing renovations. I was doing Toastmasters. I was on the executive. I was exercising and going to the gym. And I was able to fit that all in, including time with my family and friends, and feeding my spiritual side. So I was really puzzled as to what in the world happened. Why can't, when I have half the amount of stuff to do, why is it that I can't manage it? Today what I'd like to do is I'd like to do a demonstration on time management and show you what actually happened to me. So I'm sure some of you have already seen this before. This represents time. The avocados, they represent things that are really important in our life, things that money can't buy. They represent our family, they represent our friends, our goals, our hopes, and our health. The walnuts, they'll represent things like our job, hobbies, spending time with people that we don't really like, our car, and our house. Our oats, these represent things that really don't matter. Our oats represent video games, YouTube, Netflix binging, wasting time on emails, as well as doing errands and menial tasks. So what happened when I was, not too long ago, what I was doing was, my priority was Netflix, and I would spend quite a bit of time, and I would watch entire seasons in one sitting. Now we can't forget YouTube, I love music, and the occasional cat video. Then there's TV, email, and with the email, the problem with the email was I was taking care of other people's priorities by focusing on the email. And then of course we had the errands. Then after that, I had to work, I needed to make a living. So work, Toastmasters, and other hobbies that I had. Taking care of the house, doing house stuff. And then what was left over, I did with my car. Then my avocados, the important stuff. So I did find time for my family, I did find time for my friends, and I did find time to feed my spiritual side. But I didn't have time to make my lunch, take care of my body. I couldn't find time to work on my goals and my future. So I wasn't able to close my jar. Now, what I'd like to illustrate to you is what happens when I'm efficient and I do my priorities first. So then what I would do is spend time with my family at least one day a week. I'd spend time with my friends one day a week. I'd feed my spiritual side very often. I would focus on my goals. I was very goal focused. And my health, I was focused on that. Then, I still had to work. Still need a paycheck, as John mentioned earlier. I still needed time to do Toastmasters and my other hobbies. Still had to take care of the house. I still had to take care of my car, maintain it a bit, make sure it was shiny. And then, let's look at the things that aren't really important. Oops. So, maybe with my Netflix, I didn't watch entire seasons in one sitting. I watched maybe 3 or 4 episodes. For my YouTube videos, maybe instead of watching 20, I watched 5. Errands, I still did errands, but I was selective. Emails, I didn't necessarily do everything everybody else wanted me to do. And even if it didn't really fit, my priorities would have fit. But I found I had to rearrange stuff sometimes to make things fit. Then I found that it all fit. Now, friends, this is an example of when we put the small things first, we don't have time for the important things. We don't have time for sometimes family, sometimes our health, sometimes things that we really value. Sometimes we have charitable things we want to do. But if we put our priorities first, then what we can do is we have time for our important stuff. And even if we don't do some of the small, unimportant stuff, there's always time the next day to do that. But we get our priorities done first. So ladies and gentlemen, the question I want to leave with you is, what's in your jar?